I love it when a plan comes together. Few things make me happier. I am Erik Hastings. Welcome back to Travel Show Live, joined by the great Aaron Sega. The travel tips, really, I love the. How can we get?
Oh my God.
You only release. You're like. You've got to do more of these.
I will.
Because
It's
they're
happening.
so helpful.
Yeah.
And I was watching them just last week. I was like, you know what? I never thought of it that way. And I'm like, only Aaron would come up with that. You're the best. I mean, really.
Well,
I saw. No, she's got an. We didn't. I don't know if it's here. Well, we don't have time to talk about it. Anyway,
No,
thank
don't.
you very much. We don't. Yeah, we're a little behind today.
Enough.
Sorry
They
about.
can go online.
I apologize. They can go on.
Like
That's
being
right.
at the Oscars.
Really? Yeah, please. Well, here's the thing. Now, this is what's great about this
Midnight,
program.
we're gonna be done.
I'm telling you right now. The other day, Steve O'Brien was here, and he brought this book, America's Best Zoos, and I was leafing through it, and it's a marvelous book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is a page turner.
Yeah.
Now you were just at the zoo.
I was. The Bronx.
You went up to the Bronx Zoo. Did you love it?
I loved it.
Isn't it
Never
great?
been there. It's awesome. I said, are we in the Bronx? Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Couldn't believe it.
I know.
Couldn't believe it. I was blown away.
Yeah, I love it up there.
Yeah.
So and then the Central Park Zoo with the penguins.
Yeah.
All right here. So anyway, I thought, do we have the? You have my.
I like the penguin.
You like the penguin? Yeah, the penguin. Who you even say the word penguin? People are like, I love the penguins.
good, yeah.
The author of the book, Alan Nyhus, is here. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you here, sir.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Aaron. The Bronx Zoo blows me away, too.
I know. Oh, you're pictured with penguins. Look at that.
Ah,
We knew we'd like you.
Oh, I love it.
Well, thank you very much for doing this today. Where did the idea come up for the book?
it probably comes more from being a parent. I mean, years ago, I was taking my own children to our local Indianapolis zoo when it opened, and I started going to other zoos and realizing they're all different. They all offer different experiences, and it just basically came from that.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. How long did it take to prepare the information?
Well, this zoo, this book is my second book, and we actually between John.
What was
and
your book? America's Worst Zoos. I mean,
Horrible.
No, it was actually called The Zoo Book: A Guide to America's Best. Yeah.
Very good. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Different publisher, and,
Sure.
and it was actually 14 years ago.
Oh, wow! All right,
Yep.
all right.
I took some time off to raise my family,
That's good.
and so this book, my co-author John and I, we actually wrote it over the summer. It took about 4 months.
Have zoos kind of gone through a bit of a renaissance? I mean, because a lot of times people say, zoos, who cares about this? I went to the zoo, big deal. It's not. But zoos are really, I mean, they're really stepping up their game in the last 20 years.
Yeah, you're right. About probably the last 30 years. Before that, they were just, I like to say they were sort of like animal stamp collections, where you just line them up one next to each other, and who cares about how they look and everything. Just we want to have as many different animals as we can. And you could go look at them through the bars, and there they are. And about 30 years ago, they started making these natural habitats. They want to make you feel like you've gone to Australia or Africa or Asia, wherever the animals live. And they're just fascinating. They just make you feel like you've traveled around the world.
That's a fascinating point, because not all zoos are created equal. So if you've been to this zoo, great, but you haven't been to that zoo, and you have to really go to all of them, right?
Well, that's what our book's about, and we want to dispel the rumor that all zoos are alike. The zoo in Omaha, Nebraska is very different from your zoo in the Bronx or San Diego or down in Texas or wherever. They're all very different. They offer different animals, different environments. They're just great.
Now, some of the highlights, of course, kind of goes without saying, but I mean, the San Diego Zoo comes to the top of mind, but also like the Columbus Zoo is another one of your personal favorites, right?
It is. It's in my top 5, along with Omaha and your Bronx Zoo and San Diego, and I would say even Disney's Animal Kingdom.
You know, I got to tell you, the last time I was at Disney, I stayed at Animal Kingdom, which, I wasn't sure I really wanted to stay there because it's kind of far away from the Magic Kingdom, which,
Right.
I got to be on a small world at least 12 times. But whatever.
I love it.
Yeah, and the Dumbo ride, I got to get on that. But I loved the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
You literally open up your drapes, and there are the giraffes.
You're talking about the Animal Kingdom Lodge, right? I've never stayed there myself. I have friends who have, and
Unreal.
you're right. They're right outside your window.
And wouldn't you, if you were a giraffe, Let's just start there. But if,
Visualize.
if let's just whatever. But Alan, if you and I were animals and confined in a zoo, wouldn't you love to be a Disney animal?
Absolutely, absolutely. People have this idea that zoos are animal prisons. I think they're animal resorts.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
If I were an animal and I couldn't be a Disney animal,
Yeah.
I would be a zoo animal. I would love to. Jack Hanna, he seems like a nice guy out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's something else that people don't realize, that zoos are really in the business of education for all intents and purposes.
Education and conservation.
Conservation. Yeah.
They will educate you on the need to conserve the animals and how the animals are different, and they're a biology lesson just going there, but also they'll teach. They conserve animals. There are animals like the American bison, which would no longer exist today if it's not for zoos.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. Are you going to do an aquarium book?
That is what we are hoping to do. We haven't signed that up with our publisher, but we hope so.
Yeah, you must, because the aquariums, I happen to love aquariums.
I've been to 30 different aquariums in the last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You were really all over the place.
Yes, I have been.
Look, the proof is in the work. I really did read the book. I'm not kidding, Alan.
Thank you.
I did. I read it. Matter of fact, do you have the tape? I read the book. I read it to, actually, do we have a tape of me reading the book? See, look at me. I'm reading the book to my two cats. They love That's Charlie on the right, and that's Sophie in the background.
So attentive.
Yeah, I know. They love the book.
My family's watching you right now, so.
Well, I'm not kidding. I was reading to them, and and then some string happened. Nothing's going to happen. I think people think it's going to happen. Nothing happened. I really was reading to my cats. Yeah,
they love it though.
I got to get a life, Alan. I need a hobby.
This is a life. This is a great life.
It is. That's maybe Legos, latch hook, something, stamp collection. Alan, thank you for being here. Where can we buy this book?
Well, we have our own website, www.americasbestzoos, or you can get it on Amazon.
You just can't get any easier than that. Will you come back and see us when you're in New York again?
I definitely plan to, Eric.
I think my next zoo visit, I'd like to go with you.
Right.
Well, I'm headed for Moscow next week.
Well, I'm busy next week. I can't go. But Moscow, I would go to Moscow if I could.
Yes, I'm going to Moscow Zoo.
That's going to be great. You should call in. Call when you get back, will you?
I sure will.
We'd love to have I'd love to have a Moscow up. Is that a big zoo?
It's a huge zoo. And I'm also going to go to Barcelona and Lisbon and Madrid, a whole bunch.
Or as the locals call it, Barcelona with the T.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Bring pictures.
Bring pictures, would you?
I will definitely.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks for having me on.